Hi, and welcome to another episode from Rossi Audio. We'll be strictly Cerwin-vega today. Where can we start? Well, I was going to make a video. Top 5 speaker models that you can and should go out and buy and collect right now. And why? A lot of people will probably go like, huh? But that's okay. There's a reason behind the madness. There's always a reason behind the madness. If there's 5 models that I would recommend you to go out and get a hold of when you can, because it's getting harder. There are far and few in between, and people are chopping them up. They're parting them out. You see it on eBay. I see it more and more on eBay. There are drivers for sale that comes from models that I would never dream about parting out. R26s, R10s, N12, you name it. There are drivers for so many models that are gone, that are now really hard to find. And the more people do these hack jobs and slaughter and butchering speakers, the harder these speakers are going to be to find. So it is our job as Cerwin-vega fans to save as many as you can. And I mean, guys, look on Craigslist, look on eBay, look on Letgo, OfferUp, whatever sales site that you can think of. See if you can find some vintage models. Don't worry about the ATs and the VSs and stuff like that for now, because there is plenty of them. But the really older ones, the HED line, I mean, when people start to butcher the HED line, we have come to a point where we just have to start saving them. And if you don't live, I mean, scour, please start looking through Craigslist often. And if you find something and you can't buy it, post it in this group and see if there's someone else who can buy it. We need to start saving these old models. That's why I'm saying, if you want to start buying some old models and collect them, or you want them in your collection from whatever you have before, here are some models that I would say that you should go out and get. 417R. If you see them for sale, please buy it if you can. If you can't, please post a link in this group so someone else that lives close by or can go and get them can get them. So 417R. 211, any model of 211, there is a couple of them, 211P and stuff like that. 211, please, if you see it again, either buy it or let it someone else know in the group, that so we can save them, because they're getting scarce out there. The third one is R10. I got one pair, and I don't care which model you get, or which generation, let me put that like that. This is the first generation with Hepner drivers. If you can find that, get it, or at least make someone else in the group aware of it, so maybe you can go out and get them, because the R10s generation 1s are hard to find now. Generation 2 with the Cerwin-vega woofer, get it, or let us know that maybe someone else can get it. So these are models that I see more and more are being slaughtered. So we have to just go out and get them and save them. The next model is, it's kind of hard to find, but I have seen parts for it for sale on eBay now for twice for, and the funny part is that the parts sell, and that's why these guys are doing it. They know if they hack it up and slaughter it down, they can sell it off piece by piece, and they're asking blood prices, and they sell it. I mean, guys, if you are on eBay and you see someone that has slaughtered some models and put drivers, crossovers, whatever on there for sale, and they're asking a blood price, please do not buy it. That's the only way we can stop this slaughtering, is to not buy the parts. I'm not buying parts anymore unless I need to save it. Like the MF81, I had to save them because they are so freaking rare. And people might need them, or I might need them in the future, because the way I see it, if I can get them for a good deal, I'm gonna buy them. But I'm not gonna buy them for a blood price, because that's why people slaughter. If you can buy them cheap, you are helping to stop the slaughtering, because a lot of these eBay sellers that slaughter speakers, they go in and they use an advanced search. So they go in and see what things have sold for, okay? And the more people who buy these parts for high prices, the more slaughter we're gonna have. If you can buy it for a cheap price, buy it, sell it to someone in this group or outside this group that needs those parts. That way, we have kind of like taken the average price down, so it won't be that lucrative for someone to slaughter speakers. But when they go in and they see, wow, a pair of mid-ranges for that model sold for $119 plus shipping, of course they're going to slaughter their speakers and start hacking up and part out. Model number 4 is any model in the CH. I'm not going to do any numbers on it. But if you see any speakers that starts with CH, please do it. Get them in your ownership, or let someone else in the group know about it, so maybe we can have someone buy them. The next one is U6. There's mid-range drivers on eBay right now for U6, and they are getting pretty hard to find. Yes, they are small speakers, they're not the big bang boof super SPL speakers from Cerwin-vega, but we need to save that model. I have a pair, and I'm thinking about, because the mid-range is so cheap right now, he has lowered his price 3 times. So I have been sitting there watching it. I didn't buy it when it was at $39. I didn't buy it when it was at $29.99. And right now he have it on there for $19.99. So I might pull the trigger on it, just to get it off the internet and into my ownership so I can save it. Because if you can't save the speaker, at least save the drivers, but don't save them for a blood price. Wait until the seller drops the price down considerably. I mean, there are speakers for sale on eBay now that is like, oh my god, what are they thinking? $1,000 for AT100 or AT15. $890 for D8. Okay, that's a kind of rare model, so it kind of justifies not that price, but a little higher price. I see so many models on there for like huge amount of money. And the problem is, if they have it on there for 2 or 3 months or so, and if they don't sell, what do you think they're gonna do? These are special Cerwin-vegas. I mean, like, there is some special ones on there now. Go on eBay and look what a vintage audio Cerwin-vega that are listed. There are some cool models there. The dude in Florida just hacked up S1. For crying out loud, he hacked and butchered and parted out S1. He had S1 on there for sale for $600 for a pair. No one bought it. Now he has the woofers on there for $300, the tweeters for $199, and I mean, it's like $149 or something like that. And what do you think he did with the cabinets? He probably burned them or threw them away. S1, guys. We need to stop this slaughter. So if you can buy something and it's cheap, please go out and buy it. If you don't want to keep it, that's fine. Buy it and sell it to someone else in this group that maybe wants them. If I can, financially, I will buy whatever I can come over, but you know, I'm not a millionaire either, so I'm not made of money, but so I can't buy everything, but you know, at least I'm trying to buy the rare and the ones that are almost going distinct, or whatever you call it. So it is up to us. It is up to us collectors to get these products out of the hands of these maniacs. They are maniacs. I mean, I can do the same speech for JBL. I can do the same speech for Altec, you know. I can do the same speech for Old Klipsch, Bose. It doesn't matter what brand it is, but we are a Cerwin-vega group, and that's those are the guys I'm talking to right now. So if you are a JBL fan or an Altec fan, do the same. Please save your brand from being slaughtered and hacked. But right now, I'm talking to the Cerwin-vega guys because that's where we are, where I am most of the time. I have the stuff, but that's what I collect, and that's what I'm trying to save and preserve, and kind of like, if I can, before I, in my lifetime, maybe build a museum or something. But for hi-fi, the models that I mentioned to you now, please, we should, as a community, as a group, try and get these things off these maniacs' hands. And when it comes to car audio, if you see stealth models, IT models, HED models, Vega, whatever model you see, if it's cheap enough, if you don't even collect or you're not even into car audio, if you can get it cheap, buy them and post them in this group, and charge a little bit more so you make a little bit profit. People are okay to pay a little bit more. Profit is good. Someone should profit from it. So if you save a speaker, you should be awarded a profit. And I'm sure there's someone in this group that will buy it from you, one way or another. When it comes to pro audio, the same thing there, guys. There are certain models in the pro audio that you rarely see come up for sale, but you see the drivers come up for sale, and that's a disturbing trend. When you see a lot of drivers floating around for sale, that only means one thing. A speaker or a pair of speakers have suffered. They're no longer on the market. So there's one less pair. And when you start to see 5, 8, 10, 12, 20 drivers, then we're talking about quite a bit of pairs that have been hacked, slaughtered, and killed, and now is gone. We need, as a group, to get together and try to save as many models as we can. Forget about the REs for now. Forget about the DXs for now. Forget about the VS and the AT. There is plenty of them to go around. But I'm talking about those models that are really, really hard to find. The ones you don't see every day. The ones you haven't seen for a long, long time, and all of a sudden ones pop up and you go like, ooh, I haven't seen that in a long time, or I only seen it on paper. A lot of these sellers on eBay that sell these speakers have set a price, and they also have best offer. I always do best offer, and sometimes people take it. Like the D1E was listed for $159 or $179. I offered to do it $50, and he took it. Yeah, I drove to Atlanta area to pick them up, a 7-hour drive one way. The R10s I found on Craigslist. I mean, he had lowered his price 4 times. He started at 200, and I got him for 40. But that was a trip to St. Louis, so the same distance there, 7.5 hours one way. So I am willing to go to certain lengths to save a model. And I see people already in the group is doing this. So just because of that, I'm very happy to see that people buy these old models. But don't get so hung up on this newer 90s stuff, because there's plenty of them. D-series, there's certain models you should look for. D6, D8. Those two, if you can find them for a good price, get them. But D9E, Oh, and D4, get D4 because it's kind of rare. But D1 and D2 and D3. D3, I think, was the most selling speaker in Cerwin-vega history. I can't tell you that for sure, but everywhere I look, there is 8 pairs of D3 for sale. I sit and do a Craigslist thing one day, and I'm looking through different states, and at the end of the day, I have seen 20 pairs of D3. So they must be one of the most selling models. So there are plenty of them around. So start with the models that you don't see too often, and start with the models that are getting harder to find. Then we can start focus on the ATs and the Ds and the REs and the VS and the VXs and all that stuff. And you know, the guys over in Norway and Denmark, you should try your best to do the same. It's a little bit different market there. You have the 1215s and the DC series, the AL. There's not a lot of AL here in the States, that's for sure. You don't see them too often. But so wherever you live, whatever the demographic of speakers are and the rarity of them, please save them. I think I'm going to try and make another video every now and then as a little reminder of what we should do, which models we should get. But for now, start with the models I mentioned.